The outer wall did not crumble. It was shattered. A titan arm burst through, and chaos erupted. High above, a dark figure pulled a lever, then vanished into the night. The breach was no accident. Yusei, a courier on the night route, was thrown forward as his horse bolted in blind panic, leaving the wall behind. From the saddle, he glimpsed the figure, a human hand on the release mechanism, and knew this was deliberate.
He opened it. Someone opened the wall on purpose.
Behind him, thousands were already dying, crushed by falling debris or torn apart by titans flooding through. Yusei clung to the reins, his horse galloping blind through smoke and screams carrying him away from the slaughter.
I have to reach the capital. Someone has to know.
The burning breach shrank behind him, but the image of the saboteur was seared into his memory. He would ride for the inner capital, no matter how long it took, no matter who refused to believe. Dawn broke over a road of corpses. Refugees caught mid-flight, guardsmen crushed beside their fallen garrisons.
200,000, they said. The outer district held 200,000.
His horse stumbled toward a stream. Yusei let it drink, though every second wasted felt like another death.
I saw him. A figure on the catwalk. Human hands pulling that lever. I know what I saw. The capital will listen. They have to.
He mounted again, forcing the exhausted horse into a weary canter. The capital was 10 days away. The road wound through a landscape of ash and overturned wagons. No survivors, no help.
If the horse breaks, I walk. If I walk, I die. But if I slow, more people die.
He passed a guard outpost reduced to rubble, its banner burning. He did not stop to look for survivors. By noon, the horse was foam-flecked and trembling. Yusei forced it on. The saboteur's ghost rode with him. By evening, the open road had vanished. Pines crowded close, and every shadow seemed to move.
The horse is spooked. Titans hunt by sight. Keep moving.
A branch snapped, then a roar. Not animal, but something deeper, and two titan faces pushed through the treetops.
Faster. Faster.
Yusei spurred the horse into a desperate gallop, weaving through trunks as massive hands swiped at him.
Ravine. There's a ravine ahead.
He threw himself from the saddle, rolling into a narrow ditch just as a titan's fingers clawed the ground above.
They're gone. But I saw it again, the figure on the wall. Or did I? It feels like a fading nightmare.
With trembling hands, he found a patch of bare earth and picked up a stick. He began to draw. The hood, the lever, the stooped shoulders. The memory solidified with each stroke. On the fourth morning, a wooden palisade emerged from the haze, a remote outpost, its torches still lit. A guard blocked the gate, spear leveled at Yusei before he could even dismount.
Another deserter come crawling? Turn back. No use for cowards here.
I am no deserter. The outer wall was breached by a human. I saw him pull a lever. I rode from the outer district.
A human opened the wall? Next, you'll say, Titans take tea. You are either mad or a liar.
Yusei fumbled inside his coat and pulled out the sealed envelope, holding it up.
A royal courier seal. I have to warn the king. Please, just let me through.
A fancy letter proves nothing. Your story reeks.
He snatched the envelope, tore it across, and threw the pieces at Yusei's feet.
They won't believe me. None of them will.
For 2 more days, he pushed on, the horse's ribs visible, the torn envelope await in his pocket. A second outpost emerged, a squat stone tower, its single guard leaning against the gate, drinking from a flask.
Another guard, another gate. Please.
You look like you've been dragged through a titan's teeth. Go around, boy.
I can't. The outer wall was breached. Someone inside opened it. I saw him. I have to warn the king.
The king? The outer wall? You think anyone in the capital cares? They've been trimming the outer districts for years.
Yusei held up the torn envelope. the royal seal still faintly visible across the rip.
A royal envelope, torn like that. Once that would have meant something. Now, even if you are telling the truth, the capital will bury it. Go home, boy. Forget you saw anything.
He didn't even bother to block the road. He just stepped aside, as if Yusei were already a ghost.
If the capital already knows, or doesn't care, then why am I still riding?
The 9th day came without mercy. The horse's hind legs buckled, sending Yusei sprawling into dry mud. He rose, pulled the trembling animal upright, and walked. The saddle stayed empty. He could not bear its weight now.
This ground, even the mud here is pressed too deep. Titan footprints and fresh ones.
A field of footprints stretched before him, each basin filled with rainwater, the earth still groaning from their passage. A vibration thrummed through his heels. The horizon wobbled, and in the shimmer, a wall appeared, whole and towering.
No, it's not real. But the figure is there again. I can almost see the uniform under the cloak.
He dropped to his knees, pulled out the torn envelope, and clutched the scribbled stick figure from memory.
I drew him. He was real. Someone has to know.
He forced himself upright. The capital was a day away. If he could walk, if the horse could stumble another mile.
Even if no one cares, even if they bury it, I'll make them hear.
The 10th sun bled orange as it fell, and against its glare, a line of impossible white rose from the horizon.
The capital. I made it.
His horse made a sound not unlike a sob, then folded beneath him, legs giving way at last.
No, not yet. You carried me this far, just a little more.
Yusei fell with it, then crawled to its head, but the beast's eyes were already empty.
Dead, like all the others.
He left the body and walked. The outer gate loomed, its iron ribs shut against the dusk.
Open it. Let me in. I have to warn him.
He beat the iron with a fist that barely felt the pain, his voice a ragged shred.
Open the gate. I am a royal courier. I have a message for the king.
A slit opened in the gate, and a guard's voice cut through. No entry after sunset. Turn back, vagrant.
I am not a vagrant. I am a courier. Look at the seal. The outer wall has fallen, and I have to see the king.
The guard laughed. Another one joined in, and soon a small crowd of onlookers had gathered to watch the mad boy.
200,000 people are dead. I saw who did it. Please, I am not mad.
2 guards seized him by the arms, ready to throw him into the ditch. A clear voice cut through the noise. Unhand him. The crowd parted for a young woman in scholar's robes.
I am Princess Mayu. This man carries a royal seal. You will release him and let him speak. You? You've ridden from the outer wall, haven't you? You look like death, but your eyes aren't mad. They're haunted by something true.
You believe me.
She didn't answer, but turned and gestured for the gate to open. For the first time in 10 days, Yusei stepped inside the capital walls. She led him through marble corridors, past murals of triumphs he had never known. The filth on his coat seemed to darken the air. In a small scholar's chamber, she set a tray before him. Bread, water, a single apple.
Eat first. Then tell me what happened.
He ate, then began, words tumbling out between swallows, the thunder of the breach, the hooded silhouette, the lever pulling.
A human on the catwalk. Not a soldier? And no one else near the mechanism?
Just him. I saw the cloak, the hand. I drew it. Here, on the envelope, I know it's real.
The council needs to see this. I'll arrange an audience for tomorrow.
Tomorrow. One more night. But what if they dismiss me like the guards?
He looked at the half-eaten apple, the torn envelope, and felt a fragile thread of hope he hadn't dared hold. Mayu left him in the lamplit chamber, the promise of an audience hanging in the silence. The next morning, Mayu strode through the gilded corridors to the chamberlain's office without waiting for an invitation.
Chamberlain, I need an immediate audience with the king and the royal council. A courier from the outer wall has testimony.
Your Highness, the king's schedule is not a public hearing. We cannot disrupt the council for every traveler with a story.
This man saw the breach. He has a royal seal and a drawn account. You will schedule the audience, or I will petition the king directly.
By the time the chamberlain relented, Yusei had been scrubbed and dressed in a servant's borrowed tunic. Clean but humbling, 2 guards escorted him to the throne room, and the great doors swung open onto a space of white light and cold marble.
The king on his throne, counselors in a row. They're already looking at me like I am a problem.
The council head's eyes narrowed as he recognized the torn envelope in Yusei's hand, a detail he hadn't expected to surface. Yusei clutched the envelope tighter and walked until he stood at the center of the marble floor, the weight of the crown pressing on his shoulders.
This is it. No more gates, no more guards, just the truth. The outer wall was breached by a human. I saw him pull a lever on the catwalk, and the wall collapsed. I drew him. Here, on the envelope. A hooded figure, human hands. 200,000 died because of him.
A tragic tale, but a boy your age, traumatized by such horror, it's natural to imagine conspiracies where there are none.
They're already dismissing me. Just like the guards.
The Crown is prepared to offer you a generous pension, a cottage, a stipend. Let us help you retire quietly and forget this nightmare.
The envelope slipped from Yusei's fingers and landed on the cold stone. The seal crack broke wider on impact.
The council's offer is generous. Accept it and trouble yourself no more. The crown has no use for childish delusions.
They're paying me to vanish, like the truth never happened.
Take the pension, boy. Forget the wall. It's for your own good.
There's something else here. They're not just ignorant, they're hiding it.
He did not bow. He turned his back on the throne and shoved through the great doors, the torn envelope clutched like a blade.
Yusei, wait, you don't understand.
She caught his arm in a dim stone hallway, her grip surprisingly strong.
What don't I understand? They're hiding what I saw, paying me to forget.
They're not just hiding it. The council knows exactly what caused the breach, because they ordered it.
Ordered it? By the king's decree.
Keep your voice down. They're planning a second breach, to thin the outer population again.
The words hit Yusei harder than the Titan's near miss in the ravine.
I can show you proof. Documents, but not here. Come with me.
If this is true, then everyone in that throne room is an accomplice to massacre.
Mayu led him through a servant's passage to a study buried in scrolls and candle wax. She bolted the door behind them.
The council's reports cite overpopulation, but the grain records tell the real story. The capital's stores are almost empty.
She handed him a yellowed ledger. The figures showed a catastrophic shortfall. The capital faced famine by winter.
They didn't just know, they caused it. For food.
A secret council vote authorized a controlled population reduction. The breach was engineered, and they're planning another.
Another breach. 200,000 more. For what? To stretch the grain another season?
She unrolled a map of the outer walls. A red circle marked a planned breach. 3 months from now, at the eastern gate.
My home district. They're going to finish what they started.
If we don't expose them, this cycle will never end, but acting means treason. For both of us.
I've already lost everything. Treason is just a word. Show me how to stop it.
Mayu unlocked a hidden drawer, revealing stacks of pamphlets, a printing press diagram.
I am part of a network of scholars who print forbidden knowledge. You are the proof we've been waiting for.
Scholars printing truth in secret. This has been going on while the walls came down.
She laid out a pamphlet draft with the headline, "The Truth of the Breach."
We'll print thousands, every district. Let the king's own couriers see it.
The fury in his voice had a new edge, not desperation but purpose.
It will take days, and if caught, we hang. Are you prepared for that?
Prepared to die. Yes, if it stops the gate opening again.
He extended his hand. She grasped it. Their pact sealed in candlelight. The old, torn envelope lay among the scattered papers. No longer a wound, but a vow. Over 3 nights, Yusei bent over a desk, writing until his hand cramped. The breach poured onto paper.
Every detail. The lever, the hood, the way the wall crushed before it broke. I won't let them forget.
Mayu slipped into the royal archive after mid-watch, retrieving grain ledgers and council minutes.
These logs show the famine projections were known months before the breach. They planned it all.
On the 4th night, a cellar meeting was called. Hooded scholars gathered around a single lamp.
I saw a human open the wall. Here is the proof on every page.
Maps were unrolled, distribution routes traced in charcoal across the capital's veins.
If one pamphlet reaches a soldier's hand, the lie unravels. We must be swift.
The cellar door groaned and everyone froze. But it was only the wind. By dawn, the plan was set. Yusei stood at a window, watching a city that would soon know the truth. The next evening, the workshop press thumped to life. Yusei fed the sheets, each page a drumbeat. Mayu cranked the press, her glasses fogging. Stacks of pamphlets rose, the truth of the breach in bold.
Every copy is a witness. 200,000 reasons to make them listen.
The workshop door burst inward. Torches and drawn swords filled the frame.
The great. Move now.
Yusei snatched a stack, but the press was already being hammered apart behind them. They dropped through the drain. Crawling as boots thundered overhead. The tunnel spat them into an alley. Yusei clutched 3 pamphlets. The rest were lost. By dawn, the scattered pamphlets had found their way into market stalls and guards' pockets. Yusei peered from the safe house window. Below, a woman read one, then hurried away, her face troubled. Within days, the pamphlets spread like ink through the city's veins. Every market, every tavern, voices rose. First whispers, then shouts. The truth was no longer hidden.
This is treason. Find the source and burn every page. I want this silenced by nightfall.
Orders went out. Every guard post was mobilized to crush the spreading dissent. By noon, soldiers stalked the streets, ripping pamphlets from hands, shoving citizens against walls. Yusei watched from a narrow attic window, the anger below a mirror of his own.
They're afraid. The council is afraid. I can feel it.
A stone shattered a guard's helmet. The crowd surged, teetering on the edge of riot.
If we don't crush this now, the throne itself will be questioned. Double the patrols.
It's working. But if the crackdown succeeds, all this fury means nothing.
Morning came. Barricades of broken carts rose in the square. Soldiers and citizens faced off across the cobblestones.
I can't let the chaos swallow the truth. They need a witness.
A guard spotted his scar. A shout, and Yusei was running. He vaulted a chimney, boots skidding on tiles. Rooftops blurred under his feet. A clothesline saved him. He swung, dropped into an alley, and vanished among crates. By dusk, his face was on a poster. Yusei, traitor, wanted for sedition.
Hiding only buys time. To make them listen, I have to stand before them.
That night, he slipped a note to Mayu's network. Arrange a public tribunal. I'll surrender. Mayu's reply came by dawn. Camellia Gate. We have demands ready.
If this costs my life, it's a fair price. The gate will hear the truth about the breach.
Under the roar of public outrage, the crown convened a public tribunal. The hall filled with commoners and nobles alike. Council members were led in, wrists bound, their fine robes stripped. The crowd's murmur turned to a growl. Yusei was granted amnesty for his testimony. He walked to the stand, the torn envelope still in his pocket.
I saw a human open the outer wall. I drew him here, on this envelope. The council knew. They ordered it.
He produced Mayu's ledgers, grain shortages known for months, secret votes to reduce the outer population.
These are forgeries. A boy's madness and a princess's treason. You cannot prove intent.
200,000 dead. A second breach planned within months. This ledger shows the famine they wanted to hide.
In the gallery, Princess Mayu nodded silently. The judges called for the verdict draft. The council's guilt hung in the air, thick as smoke. All that remained was the reading of their fate.
The truth is out. That's all I needed. Whatever happens now, I kept my promise.
The tribunal's focus shifted. King Aldrich sat above, watching the proceedings like a spectator.
It was the king's will. He authorized the resource reallocation. You can't hold me solely responsible.
I was deceived by my counsel. I never ordered any breach. How could you think I'd harm my own people?
He's lying. That letter. The seal on my envelope came from his office. But proof? None.
The judges paused, quills hovering. Without a direct order bearing the king's seal, they could not indict him. The council head's face turned gray. He had expected their protection, not to be sacrificed.
They'll hang the council, and the king will walk away, just like before.
Let this be a lesson that even a king can be misled. Justice shall be served.
Yusei's hand tightened around the torn envelope until the edges bit into his palm. The judges rose. The verdict was ready. Yusei stood still, knowing that for all his testimony, the throne would remain untouched. The head judge unrolled the scroll. Guilty. The council had conspired to commit mass murder. Sentence: death or exile. The council head's knees buckled, chains rattling. All color drained from his face.
No, this wasn't meant to happen. The king, he knew. He signed the grain orders.
King Aldrich remained seated, his expression a mask of sorrow, but his eyes were stone.
The conspirators are gone. The conspiracy lives.
The second breach was declared averted. The outer districts would receive grain, but the throne remained untarnished. Yusei stepped down from the witness stand. The crowd parted for him, as if he were a ghost.
I won, but not really.
Outside, the morning sun was harsh. The torn envelope remained in his grip. He walked away, the truth known, but the justice incomplete, and behind him the world kept turning. Time passed. A fishing village by the sea, where salt and silence washed the years away. Yusei mended nets on the pier. His scar faded, but never gone. The gray in his hair had spread, but his hands were steady. Lena came with a cup of tea. She always came when the wind changed.
You were restless again. The storm last night.
That night, the storm returned. Thunder rocked the cottage, and Yusei sat bolt upright, gasping.
It's only the storm, you say.
I see the wall breaking. The hooded figure. The lever.
In a cottage drawer, the torn envelope lay with its faded sketch, untouched for years. Dawn always came. They sat on the pier, shoulders touching, the silence holding them. He stared at the horizon, the scar white against his skin, and the memory of the breach settled in his chest like a stone that would never wash away.